Mr. Dunner. Anyone remember? Then it was Roy Bennett. He died 2 years ago, at the age of 83, Roy. And he was there for years, Roy Bennett. When my grandfather retired from the railway, he did 45 years on Western Region Railway. And that's his watch for 45 years service. That was made in 1959. His watch there, all engraved on the back of his name. So he worked for 45 years on the railway. And when he retired, he was really good at gardening. In fact, he had 2 allotments at the allotment. He had a greenhouse in his backyard, which was stolen from, which he got together from where he worked. And then he used to work, he worked for Bradnams. Do you remember Bradnams up here on they owned the market garden. So he worked for Bradnams, and then he went and worked for the Bales. The Bales at next to St. Leonard's Church. He went back to the 60s. Bales. The big house next to St. Leonard's Church. Anyway, the Bales had a wedding, and they wanted Gaga and the policeman Roy Bennett to officiate at this wedding. You know, they paid for a policeman to be there, and my grandfather was there, and Mrs. Bale said to him, help yourselves, this is before the wedding, help yourself if you want a drink, something to eat and all that, like, you know. So of course the wedding started and their job was done. They started to ride off on their bikes. Roy Bennett on his bike in uniform, and my grandfather on his bike. So as it trolled along now, Roy Bennett was coming back down to Wenvoe, and my grandfather was so sloshed that he fell off the bike into some brambles. A chap walking along the road saw him, he said, you want to be careful, there's a policeman up ahead. Well, they were both as bad as one another. So he gets home, and word gets down to Roy Bennett in the village by the grapevine that my grandfather died. So he came all the way back up to Turnwood, and he walked into my grandmother and he said, what's Arthur? And she said, I don't care. She said, he's in bed, he's got all scars over his face. And so he said, would you mind having a look? So he went up, and of course my grandfather was there, worse for wear, cuts all over his face, but he wasn't dead. Then living in Wenvoe then in Rectory Close, another shock happened to me in 1959, which really depressed me a lot actually. My sister was born. You will now consider that the inheritance is split 3 ways.
I was adopted though.
What could I do? And I always remember, just after she was born, it was Christmas, she was born in November. And I always had an interest in meteorology, the study of the weather, and I wanted this weather station, which was made by Rovic Scale Models, Westwood Margate, Kent. And it was sold in a toy shop in the arcade in Cardiff for £5.1906. And there were 2 of them, one for £5.1906, one for £3.10 shillings. Because she was born, I could only have the one for £3. I saved up doing the echoes. So I did the echoes in the village for 6 years. I delivered the echoes, not as big as now, of course. And I used to get paid 10 shillings a week, 50 pence. And Auntie Sin started to have her echoes delivered. I went to Mr. and Mrs. Fry, who owned the village shop here, and said, what's this? What's the matter? Denise Fry. She said to him, what's the matter? Well, I'm having my echoes delivered, and I give you 6 months to have them delivered. And my nephew, you're still only giving him 10 shillings. Of course, they didn't have to give me delivery money to the echo boy. But it caused such a furore that I had 10 and 6 a week. Then we used to go from, with Liz, every Wednesday we'd visit Nana and Gaga up at Turnwood. And Mum had to push the pram all the way up towards up through the lanes towards Turnwood. But they were good days, and in later days I used to take my grandfather up, loved the pubs of the Vale, and everybody knew him. You know, he was the chairman of the Railway Parish Council. Going back to Godfrey Lewis, he once had an altercation with another she lived till 101. And Tom, something happened. I don't know exactly the full story, but something happened. And Godfrey Lewis upset him. So Tom Vetrich went down to Upper House with a double-barrel shotgun and had Godfrey Lewis on the floor with his double-barrel shotgun to his head. And it was solid. No shots fired, police involvement, all sorted. Godfrey Lewis then employed myself and Alan Brooks. Alan Brooks moved to Australia, I don't think he loved me very much, but we used to live the Echoes in Wenvoe for a while, and then for the 10 and 6 a week. And Godfrey Lewis wanted to employ us to put in ragwood for up in the fields in Upper House, because ragwood was poisonous to cattle. So me and the other job we had was to clean up the pigs. So he was paying us $2 and $6 an hour to pull this weed up in Topfield. And we were doing it all summer. We made sure it lasted, so we kept getting $2 and $6 an hour. We were doing really well, we were. But one day there was a bit of a problem. We got to know the pigs. They never went to slaughter. It was just there, you know, quite big ones over there. Got to know them, she was digging them out. They had to dig all the rubbish, crap out, and all that. They were nice pigs. Then you had to put all the new straw down and that sort of thing. Well, this one day, I'm walking into the sty, and the pig comes out at the same time. And he got squashed. And this pig was making such a knock. I wanted to touch him, I just squashed him. He was making such a long noise. Godfrey Lewis killed. What are you doing to my pig? What are you doing to my pig? I said, oh, I see. Who can move you? You know? Anyway, that was so. Then they escaped one day, didn't they? They came down the path, they started to go down Walston Road. Luckily, we managed to get them up before Godfrey Lewis woke up. You know? $2 and $6 an hour. I mean, that was something else, you know? What was strange about delivering the Echoes, I always had this. My heroes were the newspaper van drivers, or the Western Mail and Echo. They'll come along, I don't know if you remember them years ago, the PP vans were half red and half blue, and they used to throw the papers up the vehicle, as they don't see that nowadays. Used to go along and throw the football Echo over the roof to land in the shop doorway and all that. And I always wanted to do it. And you know, boys, you want to be a train driver, you want to do this, you want to do that. And I did it for a few years. I drove the Western Mail vans before I joined the police force, and I threw the papers out of the vehicles, something I wanted to do. The pay was rubbish, but it was brilliant fun. I'm just trying to think of the one, yeah. So with these papers, I sometimes used to do the morning papers and get a bit of extra money. And in June 1963, I went down to Wenvoe railway station, and I was the last person ever to take the morning papers off the last train that ever went through Wenvoe. That was the last one. It was all going to be van then, and you know, those were the last ones delivered by train. I mean, we were invited to our closing out, the neighbours there, the noise. You know. Another thing I did, the Wenvoe show at the golf club, 97 years. I didn't do it for 97 years. But they used to employ a gate man, and just, you know, I was about 15, I think. And it was good money. You know, you just stand on the gate, taking money off people as they were coming in, you know, the cars coming in. That was really good money. The one thing, because my grandfather was the chairman of the Wenvoe Parish Council, he then went on top table to have his lunch in the big tent. It was Robert Reeder, Sid Slakin, councillors, you know, with the badges on and all that. So I thought, I'll have him now, because we were those 70s as well. I went in, made sure that sat next, he's on top table, I went sat right there, not far from him. What are you doing here? I said, well, I'm the gate man. I said, I was good as you. No. So I was sitting with my grandfather having dinner. Then, from Wenvoe School, I mean, there were good days. There were good days in Wenvoe School. The teachers were brilliant, and you could get the cane, but not often. It was pretty good. But then from there, went to Gladstone Road School in Barry. Didn't like it very much, but you know, you had it. Who didn't? And the bus, we were picked up by bus. So, to go back a bit actually, but Uncle Wyndham, when he used to go to the grammar school, living in Turnarodin, he would have to walk down through the fields, down here, walk to the railway station, down to Barry and walk up to the grammar school. So where the boys from the town were just walking to the grammar school, he had to be up at about 6 o'clock in the morning to get down here, walk down here, catch the train. Our bus then used to come Western Welsh, single decker, up to Wenvoe. I often wondered why they didn't do it the other way and we could get up later to catch us the other side, because the bus would come back. They'd go from Wenvoe, Lower Cross, up to Turnarodin, picking people up, over the top. Then Brandon Jones would get on it at the junction where Sid Gordon's house, do you know the one that goes up to the television mast. Then we'd pick up Tresida at the nurseries, Cheryl. Then we'd go down to Dyffryn, I think there was a Donahue's. But he wouldn't go right down to Dyffryn because the bus was a bit awkward. They'd have to turn right then, down Dyffryn Gardens, up the other end. Then we'd pick up in St Nicholas, Purcell's. Then we'd go to Bromleston, pick up there, all the way back, come back via Wenvoe. And sometimes you were late for school, but we never got into trouble because we had no control over what the bus was doing. But the best year was 1963, and it snowed. Do you remember Jean Connor? Well, she used to work in nightclubs. She could hold plates up around, silver service. And she came home that Boxing Day night in 1962 and said that she couldn't see her hand in her door because of the snow. It was that heavy. And the snow went on and on and on. And in the January, I remember we got up here, we got up by where the Alps Quarry is now, and the drifts were twice as high as me. Where there used to be wind coming up by the Wenvoe garage, they were just abandoned cars, and it's huge. The drifts were huge. Nothing could move. You know, which was brilliant because we didn't go to school for 3 weeks. And even when we went back to school after 3 weeks, we'd get to school, and the toilets were frozen. So we'd come back home. The Dyffryn boys had about 5 or 6 weeks off because nothing got up to the body and around there. Nothing could move. Everything was frozen. But there we are. We were happy with our Conquerors, our bikes, we had the money, unless we could steal it. And I suppose really they'll say, I mean the other thing, I'd rack my brains about different places, I tried to go up different roads. There was Anstey's nurseries where a lot of the ladies of my mother, Mrs. Dawn, there were a few Mrs. Price who lived next door to us. They used to work at Anstey's nurseries. And then, I'm just trying to think of the other sort of things that happened. Of course, the snow of '79 then, that was when Len's greenhouses were sort of...
Oh, Prince Charles came.
Yeah, Prince Charles came then, all the snow had done that. But you wake up every morning in the summer, and there'd be a haze, and it'd be warm, and the tarmac would melt. And it would be day after day after day, week after week. And the only thing that used to, after about 2 or 3 months, you'd get huge thunderstorms and really good thunderstorms. I actually remember once coming home, I was actually working and I came into the village about 11 in the morning. And I actually, as I got to the house, I stopped. And there was a swirling sort of tornado, hail things, about 1,000 feet up. You know, because my grandfather had also told me about the 1921, when he was a blacksmith on the railway, that a huge tornado came up from Devon, went across Barry, lived all the railway tracks up here, all the way up. A couple of people were killed in Edwardsville, I think it was, and they had to go down and fix all the railways, sort of thing. You know. Basically, I keep trying. I don't know whether I've been long enough or whatever, you know, not too long. Or...
They might want to ask a question.
Yeah. I don't know how long I've taken actually. I don't know what it's.
An hour?
Very long.
Yeah, you could, I mean, you know, I remember the horse Adrian Door, the field going to Wenvoe House, because it was all fields. There was nothing. There was a Taras well, you know, it was just all fields around here. I mean, you know, I knew the name of virtually everybody in the village then, and all all the people in Walston and, you know, Turner Ordin and everything. Funny enough, this is Kate Beatrix, she still lives up there, she's 90 now. She lives right up there. So I don't know if there's anything, you might jog my memory on things, perhaps, you know. I've woken up some nights thinking about doing this to myself. And I write it down. Trying to remember, you know, trying to remember different things, sort of thing.
Maybe they'll ask me questions when we have a cup of tea,
Yeah.
if they think about it.
Okay.
But you have the most phenomenal memory. I can't believe that you were related to so many people.
I was 22.
Never know, do you, girls? And I think that those of us who came to live in the, you know, in the village, late 60s and early 70s, a lot of the names we do remember,
Yeah.
so that was quite good.
Yeah.
But one interesting thing that on Monday, funny enough, we were up at the rectory, and June Davis, who lives in Wenvoe Close.
Right. Yeah, oh, yes, she used to live in Turner Ordin.
That's right. Well, she was telling us, and it's strange that you should be talking about living in Turner Ordin, but she said about coming to school down through the quarry, you know, and down the field there, and they'd have to stop when the siren went, because they were walking down, and then the quarry would blast off. And then they'd have the all clear and they could carry on. So that would often happen on their way to school. And it's only Monday she was telling us that. So
Well, the houses at Chapel Terrace were actually quarry houses. They were all owned by Greenwoods. And the quarry, I mean, went for years. I mean, the Blue Pool was in the 20s, but it was disused because they had yet to go to front Spain. And the other one went for many years after the Greenwoods quarries.
I was impressed that Turner Ordin had a bus twice a day. Well, apart from you. They certainly haven't got any buses now, have they?
Two a week.
So really, you were very advanced to have 2 buses up there. But I think it's evoked many memories, hasn't it? Because I think a lot of us, although we didn't live here, perhaps then, I think we may have had similar childhoods, you know, with the conkers and all the things that we played. So that was lovely. But if anybody has any questions to ask Alex while we're having a cup of tea, I'm sure he won't mind.
No.
But thank you very
As long as I
much.
have a bit more.
Oh. I tell you what, I'm amazed you went into the police, really. But
So are they.
He went into the police.
It was your entrepreneurial spirit. With the papers and
I sold
everything.
football echoes outside.
Yeah,
Couple of
that's
spare.
So Alex, how long do you do in the...
Going into the police.
Alex, how long do you do in the police?
I was there for 30 years, but I worked about 8.
With overtime? With overtime?
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, I did 30 years, but there was 35 with overtime. Those were later years.
Thank you very much. I think you did. Now we come to the next important bit. We need a couple of volunteers, or maybe even 3, with so many, to make tea and coffee tonight, please.